They say history is written by the victors, but what they don't tell you is the sheer brutality used to silence the voices of the defeated. Welcome to a chilling journey through time as we unveil the darkest punishments ever inflicted in the British Empire. From merciless executions to unimaginable torture, these punishments were not just about justice. They were a spectacle of horror designed to instill fear. But before we dive in, make sure to watch till the end, because the final punishment will haunt your thoughts forever. Number 1. Drawn and quartered. The execution from hell. Imagine this. You are accused of treason. Your hands are tied, your body is weak, and the crowd is cheering for your execution. You think they'll just hang you and be done with it? Oh no. What happens next is something straight out of your worst nightmares. First, the executioner hangs you, but not to kill you, just enough to make you struggle for air. Your body shakes violently, your eyes bulge, and your lungs burn. Just when you feel like you're about to die, you're cut down and thrown to the ground. Then comes the real horror. Your stomach is sliced open and your intestines are pulled out, yes, while you're still alive. The executioners then set them on fire, making sure you see your own insides turn to ash. But they're still not done. Your head is chopped off, your body chopped into 4 pieces, and each part is sent to different cities as a warning. Perhaps the most infamous victim of this punishment was William Wallace, the Scottish rebel who dared to defy the British crown. His execution in 1305 remains one of the most horrifying in history. And just when you think it can't get worse, wait until you hear about the next punishment. Number 2. Branding, marked for life. In the British Empire, justice wasn't just about pain. It was about shame. Imagine being permanently marked as a criminal, your sins burned onto your skin for the world to see. The executioner holds a searing hot iron, its tip glowing bright red. You are forced to stay still as the metal is pressed onto your skin, your face, your arm, or even your neck. The sizzling sound of burning flesh fills the air as you scream in agony. And guess what? The letter they brand onto you depends on your crime. T for thief, F for fugitive, M for murderer. Branded criminals were forever outcasts, never able to hide their past. But what's even more terrifying is how many died from infection due to the horrific burns festering into deadly wounds. And if you think this is brutal, wait till you hear how the British Empire turned rats into a tool of torture. Number 3. The rat torture. Flesh eaten alive. If you have a fear of rats, this one will send chills down your spine. Imagine being tied down, helpless. A cold metal container is placed on your bare stomach. You feel something crawling inside, hungry, desperate rats. Then, they start heating the container from the outside. The rats panic. They try to escape, but there's only one way out, through your body. With sharp claws and razor-like teeth, they start digging into your skin, gnawing deeper and deeper. Your body convulses in pain as the rats burrow into your flesh, searching for an exit. The only escape? Death. Many prisoners died screaming, their bodies left mutilated beyond recognition. And the worst part? This wasn't just used on criminals. British rulers used this method on rebels, political enemies, and anyone who dared to challenge their rule. And as horrifying as this is, the next punishment was an even slower and more painful death. Number 4. The floating hell. Prison hulks. When British prisons became too full, the Empire came up with a ghastly solution, turning old warships into floating jails. These prison hulks were nothing short of floating death traps. Prisoners were chained like animals, left to rot in filth, with little food, no fresh air, and no medical care. Diseases like cholera and tuberculosis spread like wildfire. In some cases, 1 in 4 prisoners didn't survive their first year. These ships were used to transport convicts to brutal colonies like Australia, where they were forced into slave labor until they collapsed from exhaustion. If you ended up in one of these prison hulks, you were as good as dead. But what if I told you some punishments were even worse than death? Number 5. Pillory and stocks, public humiliation. Sometimes the British Empire didn't just want to punish you, they wanted to humiliate you beyond repair. Prisoners were locked in wooden frames, their heads and hands trapped, unable to move. Crowds would gather, hurling rotten food, rocks, and even filth at them. The abuse could last days, and if the crowd got too aggressive, the prisoner could even die from the attacks. Imagine standing in front of hundreds of people, covered in filth, with no way to escape, a living nightmare. This punishment was abolished in the 19th century, but not before countless lives were destroyed. The British Empire was known for its power, but behind that power was a history soaked in blood and fear. These punishments weren't just about justice, they were about control, terror, and absolute dominance. But what do you think? Which punishment shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into history's darkest moments, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more spine-chilling content. Until next time, stay safe, because history is far more terrifying than you think.